Hey everybody, it's Ben and Pat. Hope you all are having a good Sunday. Got some good games to look at today.
Hey everybody, it's Ben and Pat.
What's up, Aureliano? I hope I pronounced that right. What's up, Hugo? What's up, Toast? Sapphire?
Did you pronounce toast correctly?
No, probably not.
Darn.
I think it's Toast.
I think I have to separate this
Oh, yeah, you go.
so it doesn't
Pull that
show
down,
up
yeah.
on stream.
Indeed. I have a lot of plaid shirts. I like flannel. It's just kind of my thing. I am the Al Borland of chess.
Who?
Al Borland from Home Improvement.
Oh, I don't know any of the people on that show.
Oh. I don't remember his real name. But on the show, his name was Al Borland. How's it going, Ian?
Hi, Chess TV. I'm
Hi,
Ben.
Chess TV.
This is Pat. We do Sub Sunday today. We analyze subs games. Well, Pat does. I just sit here,
You make light comments on the way.
very light.
Yeah.
All right, you can start.
All right, let's start. So the first game is from Sit Bear or Hit Bear. Who knows? Sit Bear writes, probably should have known B3 was a horrible idea, but my opponent missed the win. I snatched a couple of pawns and then sat on the advantage until my opponent resigned. So this is the 32nd Western Class Championships in Irvine, California. Played in March of this year. Sit Bear has white against NN. 1573 versus 1302. Game in 60, delay 10. So Sit Bear's white. I forgot to do the thing. It's that one. There we go. I probably wouldn't play C3, but it's not bad. Prefer C4 or just take this. I also wouldn't be exchanging here on the center because the pawn on C3 takes away a nice square from the knight. It's better to keep the tension here and just keep putting pressure on D4. But okay, so all good. So now we have a symmetrical pawn structure, boring. Both players develop their pieces. Okay, so queen b6 going after the so-called poison pawn. And I think from what it looks like, I think it's okay to let black take this because I think we're trapping the queen. Not quite. Queen has a safe square in b5, but yeah, we're kind of lined up with the bishop here. Get our rook to a good square, so these moves also don't develop black's pieces, so it's worth the pawn investment. Okay, but we got b3 instead. Yeah, it's not the best idea to weaken your queenside dark squares over here when your bishop's committed over here. And probably you want your bishop outside the pawn chain, but if you do that, then the bishop can't guard the squares over here. So, yeah, you can ignore this threat because these are not moves that activate black's pieces. Black's king still in the center, so. Hit bishop f5. Oh, yeah. So now the bishop's kind of shut out from coming over here. And already we can strike with e5, which was played. e5 gains a tempo on the bishop, but also we're prepared to play bishop b4 and rook c8. Pile up on this guy. Okay, takes. Yep, bishop b4 is correct.
This is analysis.
Hmm?
This is analysis. This isn't the game.
Oh, this is analysis?
Yeah. He didn't play.
Oh, he didn't play e5. Oh, okay.
E5's too good. He
Yeah.
didn't play it.
Oh, okay. Whoops. Yeah, e5 was the move that I was looking at. Okay, so we didn't play e5, so there was a miss here. A6. Okay, yeah. So e5 would have been the way forward. Gain a tempo on the bishop, play bishop b4, and pile up on this weak piece, and punish these weak dark squares. Okay. So far, so good. This isn't as strong because it's not a pin, so we can move the knight here. And he did. Good job, Sit Bear.
Or hit bear.
Or Hit Bear. Yeah, it was important to keep some defense of the knight. Now after knight takes c6, b takes c6, white has this weak pawn to play against. And a weak square here on c5. So queen d8 is a mistake. And that's the plan he goes for. Very good, Sit Bear. Yep. Black decided to part ways with the pawn. Never play f3. f3 is fine. I don't immediately see what's wrong with that move. It was deemed dubious, but it's not clear why. It does weaken some squares around your king, but I don't see how black punishes that immediately, so. Yeah, this is just an excellent position for white. I think all of white's pieces are better than all of black's pieces, especially the major pieces. And this knight is eyeing a weak square, whereas this knight is on the side of the board not doing very much. So, yeah, bishop c7 is very good. You don't want to trade your bishop for this knight that's on the side. Also dubious. And I'm trying to understand why. I mean, it looks fine. It doesn't lose. The engine is drawn to queen g5 here, and we're lined up with the king and putting pressure on a weak pawn as a result of our f3 move. But that's still really good for white. Ooh, pawn takes. That's a hard move for me to want to play because the rooks were connected on an open file, and now it's not an open file, but this is a strong passed pawn. And I guess your rook's okay. It's not getting trapped. It can go here or here, so. Not a bad move, but probably not a move I would have played or thought about very much. Yeah, we're just trading pieces when we're down material now. What's up, trying to learn?
They're trying to learn.
Yeah, white just has everything here. He's up a pawn, strong pass pawn, and all of black's pieces are quite passive. Yep. We just hit the wrap it up button. I don't anticipate there's going to be a whole lot more to talk about here. White's just pushing his passed pawns, and black's sitting and waiting. Sit Bear's having too much fun. The engine says you should always sack the exchange, but, I mean... Oh, okay, this pawn is under attack now, so... But white's still completely winning here. And then black resigned. Why didn't black play knight takes b4 when he had the chance?
That's what I was wondering.
At what point? Oh, right here? Let's see.
I guess c7.
Yeah, c7's pretty strong.
But I was wondering it.
Yeah. What's up, Sassy Girl? What's up, Rurf me? You always go too fast and miss stuff. Well, when the position's completely one-sided, I try to... I don't know. There's not a whole lot to talk about, I think. But I'll try to slow down. That's good criticism.
Too fast for Bonarichi.
Too fast for Bonarichi, yeah.
Everybody is a critic.
Everybody's a critic. Ah, Pepper Westwood's got it. Richard Karn. He played Al Borland in Home Improvement.
Hosted Family Feud, it says.
Yeah, he did for like a short time. All right, shall we look at the next game? The next game is from Ferrari. Hey Ben, I hope you're doing fine. Today I brought you this game which is proving your point, never resign. It's a bullet game, and in the first moves, because of all pre-moves and the opening to save time, I lost a knight. But I didn't despair, so I continued hoping to be able to flag. But let's watch how it went. Ben Feingold, is it a terrible feeling to lose to someone who played a brilliant game of chess?
No.
Nope. You gotta respect it. And you can learn a lot from those games, as painful as they are. But just hats off to your opponent for playing well. We love blunders at move 2, says Ferrari. It's your game, Ferrari. Did the game go through? It did not. Darn. I know what to do, though. Let's see. Nope. Ferrari, your PGN is invalid, it says. Do I just relay the moves? That sounds like it'd be challenging. Ferrari, if you can, submit a clean PGN and maybe we'll get to it at the end. Because your PGN doesn't seem to be working. Just use the link in the text. Do I have to open a new window? Let's see. Share game? Yeah. There. Yep, thank you.
And then paste.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just copy this and then paste it. Thanks, Bonarichi. Okay. So it's Ferrari versus opponent.
Ferrari's black.
Ferrari's black. And yeah, it's a bullet game. And both players are very high rated. So Ferrari employs an Aliekin defense and then hangs his knight on move 2. Yes. In Bughouse, I know that this is a position for black where we'll play knight f6, e5, and then d5, and open up all the pieces. And if I knew how to draw arrows, and then we sack everything because it's Bughouse. Okay. Black's down a knight. Both sides are developing their pieces. There we go. I was going to say it's interesting that you wanted to trade queens, so is there something wrong with f takes? F takes is the move I'm drawn to, get rid of the double pawns. But okay. So far, both sides are playing well, but black's down a knight. But he does have the two bishops. And the what else? Yeah, I mean, it's a bullet game, so you're up material. Try to trade pieces down if you can. Like a free pawn, but it's okay. It's a bullet game, who cares? Never play f6. F6 is probably the best move, though. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, suddenly the piece advantage is starting to become less relevant because white has two very inactive pieces here. And the king is not feeling so safe. Got a bishop around it. We got two rooks aimed at it. So black is starting to get some compensation. So the idea with f4 is to trap the bishop forever. Engine's not a huge fan of it because I guess it's worried about the e4 square and worried about this bishop's prospects. But, you know, this bishop can do some stuff. Oh, e1. King b1, very good. Now the knight has access to e4. Ah, we do have a pin here. So knight takes e5 is available. That move is also good. Prefer e4 here. March the pawns forward, keep them together. This bishop is still quite bad. I mean, white's up a knight, so it's okay. Knight takes, knight takes. Bishop c2? Shouldn't we do something about the fork here? Rook e8 or bishop takes knight. Alright, let's see. Bishop c2. King a1. There's the pin. Yep, all good. Yeah, so black's winning idea is a4 and then bishop e3. So white should stop that. I'm not sure. Okay, so white has 21 seconds here. It's useful to see what the time situation is. Man, Ferrari's so fast. It's a 1 minute game. He's played every move in 1 second. Never play f3. It's a good move. So you gotta stop this. And he didn't stop it. Oof. Dancool, or Dancool, subscribed at tier 1 for 57 months. Thank you. Read the YouTube super chat? Oh, $10 from Brazilian. Thank you for the lectures on Lev Albert and Ulf Anderson. I've been learning a lot from you. Much love and respect, GM Ben. Thanks, Brazilian.
Thanks, Brazilian.
It's very nice of you. What is the best chess move? 1 e4.
I think that's a donation. But
It is a
I don't know what
donation,
it
yeah.
is.
Eliar Estrin.
What's the best chess move? Bishop f1.
Always play bishop f1. Ben, do you like bullet or do you find low time control stupid?
Yeah, I like bullet.
Bullet's fun. It can be fun. Ferrari says, I just went fast for the flag because I thought against some same rating I won't be able to win normally. That's fair. How fast did your opponent rattle off? He spent 2 seconds on this move. Yeah, this passed pawn's pretty hard to stop. Okay, so now you have a new queen on the scene.
White should have played f3 or f4.
Ah,
attacking the
yeah.
rook. Then you have a rook and a knight for queen. But black's still winning,
That makes sense.
but it's better than not doing it.
Can I, just wondering, can I play rook c3 and rook check? Or rook c3, rook g3, can black stop that? Or is that not good? F4. Okay, I didn't see that. Yeah, that's,
f4 is tough.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, new queen on the scene. Queen runs away.
That's not good.
Yeah, that hangs a knight with check. And mate. Well done, Ferrari. Never resign. Exciting finish. F3 was a good swindle. Someday I'll be good enough at chess to understand bishop f1 instead of just playing it because Ben says so.
Sid Bear's game was better.
Sid Bear's game was better. That's funny. If black moves bishop b5 and stuff not in the way, then black can play bishop f1. That's true. In fact, in the Benko Gambit, black plays bishop f1. Bishop goes to a6, white plays e4, then we take on f1. Always play bishop f1. Wish Ben a speedy recovery. Thanks, Kevin. All right. We can take a look at the next game. Did I lose the other... Did I lose our classroom? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Okay, Deja Vu 2. Next game's from Deja Vu 2. Hi, Ben and Pat. This is my second best win on chess.com. It's a 5-minute game from August. Deja Vu 2 is black. 5-minute game on chess.com. Let's flip the board. Didn't know Paul Benko had such a dynamic gambit. I think in Europe across the pond, they call it the Volga Gambit. So he's not the only practitioner of it. But we live in America here, so we call it the Benko Gambit. It's a e4, e5 game. It's an Italian game. Will we see knight g5? We do not. Okay. Knight c3 is a pretty boring move. The typical standard is to play c3 and d4. But I think we saw... Did we see this position in the 2024 World Championship? Ding played... It was some position like this where Ding played knight c3. I think it ended in a draw.
2024 was last year. And... Oh, so it was Gukesh and Ding.
Yeah. What did I say?
Oh,
No? Okay, yeah.
No, you're right. I forgot Gukesh played Ding.
Yeah.
Somebody texted me and said, what if Shanklin wins the candidates and then beats Gukesh?
We'd have our second American world champion. And that would be surprising.
You know who would congratulate Shanklin first?
Who?
Hans.
Oh, Hans. Yeah.
Congratulations to Shanklin.
Draws chess is good. It's the painting and sculpting chess that gets out of hand. Ha. That's a good one.
He's
He's
banned.
banned.
Good thing I'm sick.
Yeah, so when White's got pieces up in your grill here and they're pinning your knight to your queen and we can tie it up nicely with knight d5 and your bishop can't come back to break the pin, you should immediately play some h6 and g5 stuff. And the bishop's going to be trapped here. There's a famous game where Capablanca lost and his bishop was on g3 trapped behind this pawn structure forever. And that game's famous because Capablanca doesn't lose too often. Especially with White. Okay, but bishop g4 doesn't do much about knight d5, so okay. So now we're accepting we're going to have a wrecked pawn structure. And you decided to do it back. And the position's completely symmetrical. It's a mirror image. Prokofiev beat Kappa in a simul. Was that the game I'm talking about? Okay, knight takes f3, g takes f3.
Yeah, Prokofiev wasn't a bad chess player.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember who Capablanca's opponent was. I think it was Winter, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Okay, bishop e6. f4, good. Now White has the two bishops and the Vatels. That looks like it loses a pawn, but I guess you wanted to, to takes and then take here, but I guess you were planning to win it back. There is an in-between check though, so. That's not a good move. Yeah, you gotta cash in. Cash in your chips. And White's slightly better because White's up a pawn. What's up, Bishop Stars? Okay, so now the bishop's on h4. And suddenly the best move is g5. Let's see why. Okay, let's take. And then knight takes d5. That's a nice intermezzo, because now the pawn's pinned, and we'll take it back on the next turn, and bishop's going to be stuck.
Capablanca his bishop.
Yeah, Capablanca his bishop. Am I following the game? Oh, that's what happened. Oh, this is what happened. Oh, well done. Go Deja Vu 2. I didn't realize I was following the game. Okay, so now the bishop's trapped on the side, and we can play f5 and f4. And yep. Excellent. I like king f7. That's my kind of move, but queen d7 is completely fine. You have a good versus terrible bishop here. You have the open h file, and you have the better pawn structure. I like king f7. That's dynamic. Never play f3. Very good. Yeah, suddenly you can rook h3 it up. I was kind of drawn to g4 and queen h4 myself, but the engine says that's second best. So, okay, g4 good. Queen e4 and queen h4. Nice. Now we can get the play the Morphe move. Rook a g8. Wow. Oh, wow. That move took me back.
The engine doesn't like it.
Yeah. Engine is not a fan of that. You're trading...
But it's good because you played it.
Yeah, I like it. It's very exciting, but not really necessary. And you're trading off your active attacking pieces for White's passive rooks here. I think I've mentioned this on stream once before. You cash in on your advantages too quickly, and these rooks are kind of irrelevant to the game. Whereas if you just activate all your pieces, it's kind of like you're playing up 2 rooks. What else? Queen takes h2 in a 5-minute game. Okay, so yeah, I guess by force we're getting the 2 rooks. And so we got the 2 rooks, but look at your rooks. Let's do a piece-by-piece comparison. Your rooks are in the corner, this queen's in the center, and your king is, you know, exposed to a bunch of checks. Queen f5, queen h7. Yeah, we had an opportunity here to play queen h7, king f6, queen h6, always repeat, queen f5, king h7, king f6, and then take the pawn. And yeah, this is a strong passed pawn, and your rooks aren't doing much to defend that. Okay, but you took immediately. Yeah, the best move is a prophylactic move to stop queen h7, king g7. That's hard to find, especially in a 5-minute game, so I don't blame you at all. Okay, you took the pawn. Now queen h7 is back on, and then we march this passed pawn. Queen b4. That looks like a time pressure kind of move. Defending the pawn, threatening the b7 pawn, but this gives black a chance to get active here. Rook h8 is good. Also good. Rook h3 check. I'm not looking at the notation, but I'm sort of afraid that white played king e4 here. We're going to vote in the chat. Did white play king e4?
Activate your king.
Activate your king. Move your king up in the endgame. All right, let's see. No. Okay, good. They both had plenty of time, no time pressure. Bonarichi with the behind-the-scenes scoop. Oh, I breezed past a move. C4 getting mated. Oh no. There's only one move here. It says queen b8. That allows perpetual checks. And you can't step to the 7th rank because I'll take your pawn with check and I guess defend that way. After c4, suddenly white's getting mated because of rook d2 and rook takes b2, and then we attack the king and the queen and everything. And white has no checks. Okay, rook d2. Yep, and then mate. That was an exciting game. King f7,
Very
king takes
suspicious.
h2. Yeah. That was fun to watch. Unnecessarily exciting, but I approve. Thomas Beckett writes that he won his league play in chess. Congrats, Thomas.
Good job. Good job.
Stop the game. It's too unnecessarily exciting. All right, on to game 4. John Hunter. Hi, Ben. This is a 10-minute rapid game I played on Lee Chess Rapid Arena. I struggled in all my games, but this one was a positive one. Obviously, Black gives up after the blunder of his queen and just gives up pieces for no reason after that. What I'm wondering is whether I would have still been competitive had Black not blundered his queen. Hope that question makes sense. Thanks. Okay. All right. He has white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I read that correctly? Okay. Okay. Knight f3. Knight f6. G3. Okay. First piece of advice. If you want a G3 setup, you should play C4 here, because you take away D5. You take the sting out of D5. Yeah. G3 is fine. Okay, D5, bishop G2. E6 is a bit passive. It's okay. Bishop C5 is not really harmonious with your structure because you want to play C5 to control the center here. Yeah, a lot of my private students like to block their C-pawn when your C-pawn wants to contribute to the struggle in the center. You know, you want to have 2 pawns connected like this where they control lots of squares. Bishop C5 kind of takes away your ability to do that, and white just gets to play D4 with tempo. So bishop C5 is strange. Yeah, D4, bishop D6, C4. Queen A4 check is fine. White wants to recoup the pawn this way. Alternatively, you could have played knight BD2. And if you're worried about B5, I'd be really concerned about this alignment here. But also A4 is good. Okay, Queen A4 takes. Queen D3 is good. I'm trying to understand the idea behind knight G5. You got anything?
B5 was a strange move also.
Yeah.
Knight G5 is just bad.
I can't come up with a reason for knight G5. And Ben says it's bad. And I agree, it's a bad move. E4 here would have been really strong. Threatening E5. Prepared to play knight C3 and knight takes pawn.
This game
Yeah, this is a strange game.
looks like it was played on Lee Chess.
I don't see the ratings, but yeah. Yeah, queen f3 is not the best square for the queen because you took away your knight's retreat square and block your bishop. So, okay, h6. Surprisingly enough, white says you can take on f7. That's surprising. Because you're getting an e4, e5. Okay, so maybe not so surprising. You played e4 straight away. That's also okay. Takes. I have no words for taking with the pawn here. Just opening up the e file and hanging a pawn Knight takes defends the G pawn and keeps your king safe. Queen e2.
That's risky.
That's a risky move by your opponent. Knight e4.
So to answer your question, yeah, your position's fine before he blundered his queen.
Yeah. Knight takes knight e4.
Although you made a lot of queen moves.
You did make a lot of queen moves. So let's say black plays a normal move. c6, I guess. Probably black doesn't want to castle because the rook enjoys this open file and, you know, this pin's annoying, so. Yeah, you can just get your pieces out. Knight d2, rook e1, and you have a backward pawn to play against here. You have, you know, this bishop's in a pin. The king doesn't really have safety anywhere, so, you know, it's a chess game. So yeah, you still have a game here. But knight e4 ends the game immediately. And then black didn't resign. Bonarichi, am I allowed to go fast now that white's up a queen?
Knight d2 is a fork.
Yeah. Yeah, we're forking the knight and the rook. Good job.
He seemed to indicate black gave his pieces away on purpose.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, we call it the kitchen sink. The game is still 50-50.
But is it better than Sid Bear's game?
Is it better than Sitbear's game? That's a good...
Only Bonarichi knows.
Yeah. Yeah, white's just taking all the pieces. I'm going to speed through the rest of the game because there's not much to talk about. Yeah, and then mate. Collecting a chess set, as Fiddler would say.
Go back half a move.
Go back half a move.
What's the other maiden one?
Rook d2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is knight e1 mate?
No.
No, king takes rook.
No. Yeah, but
Yeah.
king takes b2.
Oh, king takes b2, yeah.
No, just rook d2 and queen e2.
Yep. Those are the only two maiden ones that I see. All right. Good game until it wasn't. Yes, that's correct. I'm Ben Feingold and you're not. That's something you would say. All right, next game.
Bonarichi says Deja Vu 2 has the best game so far.
So far, so good. Okay, so next game's from Bonarichi. This was played in the Michigan Open in 1992, before I was born. I would be born roughly 2.5 years later. Bonarichi writes, I fianchettoed my queen, gave up pawns with abandon, and then we settled into a draw. I would have fought on, but he insisted. He insisted on the draw, so you must accept it. Back when either Bush 1 or Clinton 1 was president. I was born when Bush Sr. was president.
This game was played on my birthday.
Oh, yeah, it was.
But Bonarici's black.
Okay. And I don't see the ratings. But that's fine. Bonarichi is a good player. I'm sure he was still good in 1992. It's a Sicilian. A closed Sicilian. Okay. Yeah, not a whole lot going on so far. G6 is good. D3 is good. So far, it's just a pretty boring game. Neither side is confronting the other. Both sides are just casually developing their pieces. Queen d2. I guess white's going for the exchange of bishops. Bishop d7, yep. e6 is a bit anti-positional. E6 weakens a lot of the dark squares at a moment when white wants to trade dark squared bishops. And I would be weary about playing d5 because if white can get support for e5, then the dark squares are going to be under serious fire, and the knight can jump to d6. Not losing or anything, but yeah, knight g2, b5. Wow. Okay.
Just take it.
Yeah, just take it. He didn't take it. Yeah, we can take this, right?
d6 is
Yeah, that's correct. Just take it and then d6. So black has to play d5 here, and then white can do something about the b pawn later, I guess. So that's just a free pawn for white. No compensation. But white played f4. And now you can just play b4. You're kind of disrupting white's coordination a little bit. Okay, so knight e8, and now we can take the pawn again. At least d6 is defended now, but it's still a free pawn. And he does. Knight a3 is an excellent move. Now the knight can jump to c4. e5. I can't really suggest an alternative, so I guess e5 is okay. What's wrong with taking the pawn? Just knight c4? No, queen c3 check. Yeah. Gotcha. I missed that one. So e5 stops queen c3 check. Good.
And then after queen c3 check.
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry.
Queen f6.
Oh, queen f6?
Throw in e5.
Ah.
Bam.
That's a nice line.
Played first in the game. Gotcha.
It's the game gotcha versus bitch. That's a nice variation. Okay, so e5 stops queen c3 check. But now we have time to defend the pawn, so he does. Queen f6 threatening e takes f4 and queen takes a1. That's the threat. So white stopped it. Darn. Well, at least you made the threat. E takes f4 opens up a lot of white's pieces, like the rook towards your queen. And now this pawn's not blockaded, so e5, opening up the bishop. It takes f4. Yeah, white's just up material here. Queen d4 check. This game ended in a draw? Surprising.
Black is like, I'm sorry, white is like a flight B player.
Oh, okay.
Class B.
Uh-huh.
Bonarichi is better than Smolik.
Fair.
Although not
Even in 1992?
not this game.
Oh. Okay. And then the fianchettoed queen. Knight d5 is a good move. Jumping to a good square. Suddenly knight takes d6 is playable. Wow. That's a really deep variation. Both knights are hanging and you can't save them both. That's crazy. Okay. Knight e3 looks fine. Queen h6. Queen e2. Out of the pin. f5. f5 looks a little weakening to me. So e takes f5 is good here. Yep, very good. Now the bishop has more scope. Yeah, so far it's been a good game. White's still completely winning here. Not a huge fan of rook a d1. Take here and open up the position, open up the king. Something like this. Yeah, position's just getting blasted open. Knight's under attack. We're going to open up the queen, bring the rook over to the f-file. And this is a lot of pieces around black's king. Okay, so rook a d1 is a bit slow. G takes f5, wow. Not bishop takes f5? Did Bonarichi mention the time control? I don't remember.
It's the Michigan Open, so
Yeah,
it's
so
slow
it's the
chess.
slow chess, yeah, okay. d4. Now rook h4 was a tad stronger. Knight f4. Threatening this. Threatening knight h5. Queen h5 sometimes.
Takes d6.
Oh yeah, queen takes d6 as well. Whoop, I can't draw arrows. I was sort of worried about this and this. Or maybe I shouldn't be.
Also
No,
good.
yeah, also good. Yeah. Okay, so rook a4. Knight f4 once more. Threatening this and this, and this. Yep, that was played. Yeah, don't take pin pieces. You can bring more pieces into the attack. The rook's not going anywhere.
Could you play rook takes a7?
Rook takes a7? Yeah. Completely winning. Pin.
I mean, he played rook a4.
Yeah, he did play rook a4. So you should play rook takes a7. What was the... Oh, he just took on a... he just took here. Knight takes... Is there something wrong with taking this now? I guess queen c3, or...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Okay, queen d3, and he's...
He's fine.
Yeah, queen d3 is attacking f5 and defending his c3 pawns. Queen d3 is good. Yeah, rook takes f5 is... You winning? Rook e2. Okay, just so we're deflecting the queen so that we can take here, but that's still good for white. Queen e8 check. Another opportunity to play rook takes a7. King g6. Queen takes d6 check. He's not playing rook takes a7. Bonarichi, what is this? What? Always repeat. I mean, what? He was intimidated by my 1850 rating and happy to draw? Man. He played rook a4 earlier and he never took this. He could have taken it with check, but he always repeated. That's bad practice. Especially when you're winning. Was he low on time? Was there no, like, time control at move 40 or... That's how 1700s play? They play for a draw when they're winning?
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, he wrote that he forced him to take a draw.
Man, a shocking sudden end.
Yeah, it's weird to play rook a4 and then
never take on
play
a7.
rook takes a7 check.
Well, I was mad. I still wanted to win. You're gonna play for a win here? Like, yeah, I guess so. I'm coming in here. The engine says this position's plus 73. Did you all think it would be plus 73? I wonder how long before it announces mate. It's at depth 23 right now.
Here, can you
Yep.
go back?
Yep.
Okay, queen e7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay. Rook a6.
Rook a6. Yeah, I mean
g4.
G4.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Bonarichi, would you play for a win in this position? I thought plus 74, but I was over optimistic. Darn. He wouldn't have seen that.
Rook a6 check. You might have lost this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing to do. Rook a6 is what you call a collinear move. You can't see that until you're 2000. Oh, collinear in the sense that it's like moving a rook forward but not taking something. Who crowned that term? Collinear?
John Nunn.
John Nunn, yeah. All right. So I submitted a few games because we only had 5 games submitted tonight. So I get to tell lots of stories and show my games, which they're not very good, but, it's something to talk about. So John Collinear Nunn. Collinear, good geometry word. Yep. John Nunn is a math specialist. In addition to chess, he's also very good at math. Okay, so my first game. It's possible he's watching. It's possible. My opponent.
He was there yesterday at the Susan Polgar.
He was. All right, so yesterday, Susan Polgar was in town. She wrote a book, and she was doing a book signing at Chess Zone. She gave a lecture, and she told lots of good stories about her opponents. She told good stories about her interactions with Mikhail Tal. That was quite an experience, for sure. Her games were very impressive, very dynamic.
Better than these games we looked at today?
Yeah, probably a little better.
Even Deja Vu 2?
Even Deja Vu 2, I would say. Yeah, so that was super fun. And then after the event, Chess Zone hosted a casual rapid tournament that had about 20 players. I was offered to play, but I respectfully declined. And then I ended up playing one game in the tournament anyway because somebody left the tournament early. I have that game in here in the notation. Okay, after the... did she talk about Ben? She talked to Ben. Ben got to ask a question about whether or not she was coming out of retirement. And she said never say never. So maybe we'll get to see Susan Pogar come back and give people the smackdown. Anyway, so first game is against Dean Bowler. Dean is a very good friend of mine. I met him late last year. He's over 2,000 USCF. Very good friend. We played many, many games together where he beats me most of the time. I would say about 70 to 80% of the time. But the games are always exciting, and I always play my best chess. I have a ton of respect for Dean. He has a good story. I think it only took him about 5 years to go from 0 to 2,000. Very aggressive player, but he's also very positional, very principled, and he knows opening lines better than anyone I've ever met personally. Like, that's what he does. He studies openings, and he knows openings very well. The first game I played against Dean was I think a Sicilian Khan or Taimanov, same structure. And he was playing the top engine move for about 20 to 30 moves and just completely outplayed me. I remember one game where we played a French, and his French is unmatched. He plays a Steinitz French, and he knows about 20 to 25 moves of theory. Just a super strong player, a player that I have a lot of respect for. He invited me to play a game with him yesterday, and we played this rapid game. So I had the white pieces, and the time control is 10 minutes plus 5. But if you can get him into an endgame, he's all yours. No, not necessarily. Dean has a pretty good endgame. We've never played slow chess together, but from the games that I've observed, he's just a classy player. Just really good. Okay, so we've played this line of the Roy Lopez many times. In fact, I kind of learned it from him. I've never seen this move order before where Black's taking on e4 and then playing bishop e7. That was new to me. The first time we played this position, I played d takes e5, and after knight c5, I was very, very slightly worse, and I ended up losing the game eventually. But I saw in the U.S. Championship this year, it was Aroni and Caruana. They got this position. The game ended in a draw, but that's where I learned a lot of the ideas. And I started studying the opening, expecting him to play it again. So rook e1 is bishop takes c6 and knight e5 here. In this position. That's not something I've ever looked at. Position's about equal. Black has 2 bishops, and material's equal, so not the best way to play for an advantage, I guess. So rook e1 is the main move, and after b5, rook takes e4, and then d5, and let's call on the chat. Does chat know the move here? It's a pretty fun move the first time you see it. Anyone? No? Okay, so bishop takes b5 is the obvious move. King takes e5. de5? Not de5. The rook's attacked here. Gasback, I assume you meant knight takes e5. And knight takes e5 is correct. If you take the rook, then knight takes c6, and we're forking this, and we can save the bishop after. And white has 2 pieces for a rook. So after rook takes e4, the correct move is to take on e5, which is what he played, and then we save our rook with rook takes e5. And so this position's quite double-edged. Black has 2 bishops, but white has a better pawn structure. And the main line is a line where black has to go uncastled. And that's the variation that we see. So queen e2, which immediately stops black from castling. Bishop e6, and then f4, which also stops black from castling. There's two ways to play here. You could play g6, which stops f5. And, you know, white plays knight c3 and starts to get around these weak scoops up this weak pawn and eyes the weak squares. But he plays king f8, which is another way to play. And if we play f5, bishop d7, and rook takes d5, the rook's going to find it difficult to get to a good square. f6, rook e3, bishop takes f5. And black's okay here. So in this position, I played knight c3. And I was actually out of book here. I played knight c3 really quickly. Knight c3 is one of the main moves, but I forgot. And after he played bishop f6, I thought I was worse. Because I have, you know, I have to give up the exchange here. I can't play rook e3, because that's going to hang that.
Always have the exchange.
Yeah, so after bishop f6, he wins the exchange. But I do have some compensation. Knight takes a4. I have strong pawns in the center. This bishop is quite bad, and black can't castle, which means the rooks can't get connected anytime soon. And the knight has this beautiful square on c5. So white has compensation here. Engine slightly prefers white, actually, but during the game I thought I was a little worse. What's up, master of the domain? Okay, queen h4, bishop e3. Queen h4 was attacking d4, so I defended it while activating a piece. h6 has a long-term idea. He wants to play king g8, king h7, and connect the rooks that way. And probably, if allowed, black's going to start to, you know, seize the advantage of being up the exchange, get the rooks active somehow. I played knight c5. And then he played a5, which is a slight mistake. He obviously he was worried about knight takes a6 and knight takes c7 in some positions. But now my pieces do start to spring to life. All of my pieces are quite active here. And these rooks aren't doing very much. The queen is quite menacing, but you know, that's really all black has. So okay, he played king g8. There was an immediate threat to take on e6. And then I kind of played a bad idea here. So it's a 10-minute game with a 5-second increment. I think I was down to around 4 minutes here. So I'm not utilizing my time very well. Taking a positional approach with rook f4, queen e7, a4 is the way that the engine wants to play it, and play for a long-term advantage, which I kind of agree with. You know, the rooks aren't playing very much. The pawns are weak, so you know I have long-term compensation for the exchange, and white is much better here because of that. But I decided to take his bishop because I wanted to damage his pawns a bit further, and I wanted to play c4 to strike at this pawn chain. Yeah, not the best idea, unfortunately, because my knight was miles better than this bishop, and now his pieces are going to start springing to life. But okay, he played king h7. I played rook f4. I wanted to play queen d3 check and force the king to go back, or force g6. But I saw he could play queen e4. So rook f4 kind of takes that away. Queen e7. Now I take. And queen c2 check is the more active square to check on, putting pressure on the pawn. The queen can come to c6. But I played queen d3 check. He played g6, which is a mistake. He should play king g8. And that's slightly better than what he did, because g6 is a bit weakening to the king, and I can put pressure on the g6 pawn now. He plays rook g8, defending his g6 pawn. And here I had a long think, and I played yet another inaccurate move, but time is starting to get away from me at this point. There are some ideas with playing bishop d2 and queen e3, trying to come at the h-pawn this way, as well as queen h3. Queen h3 was something that I noticed later on in the game, but I was never in a position to play it.
We can do a yes.
Do a yesser?
Yeah. So bishop d2 and a4. That's a yesser. A4.
That's a yesser?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, just a random move.
Queen e3, queen g7, rook f7.
Ah, rook f7, played in Tilburg, 1978. And the idea, chat, is if queen takes f7, suddenly the queen gets to scoop in on h6.
I beg your pardon. Queen takes h6 check.
Ah, yes. Pardon me. Queen takes h6 check, and the king has no squares. Okay. But in the game, I played g4. Vlastimil Hort showed Yaz that move at a pub in Dortmund. Huh. I did not know that. Okay, so my idea was I know he wants to play rook af8, challenging my strong rook, and I wanted to meet rook af8 with g5. So now my rook is kind of cemented in here, and he certainly doesn't want to take this because after bishop g5, queen h3 is coming, as well as rook f7 discovered check on the queen.
Rook f7 hangs the rook.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's
Man.
still mate. So it's still good.
Hold on. Now I have to look at the line. Okay, bishop g5.
It still wins because.
Oh yeah, because of yeah, I have mate.
Instead of mate, sack your
You sack your rook first and then mate. Don't worry, we can't see queen takes f7. Well, luckily it's still mate. I was just like, ooh boy, discovery. Clearly not thinking. Alright, queen b4 is quite active. I considered queen f1 here. And that keeps the rook tied to the defense of the rook.
That's a queen.
That's what I said.
You said it keeps the rook.
Oh, I said oh, sorry. I thought it keeps the queen tied to the defense of the rook is what I thought I said.
Yeah.
Whoops. Clearly I can't talk. Yeah, so queen f1 would keep the queen tied to defense of the rook, so we could not play queen takes b2. But again, time is slipping away from me, so I played bishop d2, and I thought I could play queen h3 and then queen d7, trying to attack the king that way. But unfortunately, that's just not working out. If I go for queen h3, he can play queen takes d4 check, king h1, queen e4 check, and there's just not an attack here. King h8, rook g7 are both fine. So after he played queen b2, I tried to get counterplay with my pawn. He correctly played queen a1 check, king g2, and then queen d1. And now all of my pieces are tied down. My bishop is pinned to my queen. If my queen moves away, it has to stay on the bishop. But okay, I tried. Played e7. I don't know how good taking this is. Probably it isn't very good. No, that's equal. Okay. Yeah, but rook e8 shuts down all of my counterplay, unfortunately.
It says he didn't do that.
Yeah, he didn't do that. Rook e8 would have shut down all of my counterplay. Okay, he played queen g4 check. At this moment, he was also quite low on time. He was under a minute.
Were you under a minute?
Yeah, I had like 12 seconds. So this is all time pressure moves. Rook e8's good. I checked. The only move here for black is rook g7, and we're going to see why. King h8. And now white does have a winning move that I did not find, because after king h8 I had a move in mind, and I had about 5 seconds left on my clock. Does the chat see the winning move? It's a nice one. Need some more water. We do not. Come on, Bishop Stars, you can do it. Believe. Yeah, so the winning move is queen to e3. Threatening queen e5. And after queen takes g5, we trade queens. And this is coming. And that's hard to stop. You were only 5 minutes away from playing queen e3? Okay, but after king h8, I played queen f1, threatening to get to f6 and checking that way. The best black can do now, I guess, is perpetual check. Queen e4, king g1, queen g4. And end the game that way. But he wanted to win. And rightly so. But unfortunately, there was a shocking end to the game. He was about to lose on time. He played rook takes e7. And, yeah, unfortunately just missed queen f6 check. And that's how the game ended.
Yay. The good guys win.
Dean is a good guy, so. White 77, black 77, Sit Bear's game was better.
It's Sven Beingold.
It's Sven Beingold. Go Ben, go plaid shirt. What's up, Hugo? All right, so the next game is a game that I played in the Rapid tournament. They asked me to play. I declined. And then somebody left and said, "Can you please play?" And I said, "Sure." I did not want to play. I was kind of just hoping to spectate and enjoy the chess, but yeah, I played. Jared's a good friend of mine, so I didn't want to leave him hanging. Thanks for the 500 bits, Fen Bungle.
Thanks, Fen.
Yep, roped into a game. It's fine. Okay, so I don't often get to play the Sveshnikov. People don't let me do that. But when I get to play it, then I play it, because I like the Sveshnikov. I started playing the Sveshnikov when Carlsen was playing it in 2018. And then, you know, the lines seemed pretty fun. Not actually wanting to play is always a good excuse, yes. Sveshnikov rare opening. Yeah, I like the Sveshnikov. I like the positions are quite dynamic and they're double-edged. Okay, but he played a rare sideline knight b3, and he actually said he played this by accident. He thought he was playing another variation of the Sicilian.
What's his estimated rating?
Jared was former Georgia State champion, but this was in the 70s, so I think he's... his peak rating was around 1900. I think right now he's probably a few hundred points lower than that, unfortunately. But
how are you Georgia State champion when you're 1900?
Because it was the 70s.
Yeah, but still.
I don't know. Okay, so knight b3 is a rare sideline. Typically white's playing knight b5, trying to get to the d6 square. And this has been played many, many, many times. Okay, knight b3. But this allows bishop b4, and suddenly it's hard for white to stop d5. I bet he was 2200 in the 1970s, but he's been declining ever since. I'm not sure. From memory, I think his peak rating was around 1900. Okay, bishop d3, because the pawn is attacked here. The knight's pinned, so he had to do something about that. Bishop d3, and then d5. I get to get that move in for free. I rid myself of my backward pawn, striking in the center. And now I'm out of book now. I haven't looked at this position in a very, very long time, but I went for an idea of sacking my or trading my bishop for the knights. This is going to force white to accept doubled pawns, and he should just accept the doubled pawns and keep his bishop pair. But he took with a bishop, and then I took that. So now this is just a position where white has doubled pawns. Get castles, castles. And I was really unsure what to do with my bishop, my light square bishop. You know, I want to play, say, e6, but I was worried about allowing knight c5 with tempo. So I played queen e7. Well, oh, there it goes. Queen e7 takes away the c5 square for the moment, and I could have tied it up with bishop e6, but we'll see what plan I went for instead. Okay, queen e2. And then I played king h8, and I want to play a position with f5, whereupon he can't check me on the light squares here. So he played rook e1, f5, bishop c6, removing the defender of my e-pawn, or looking to anyway. So I play rook e8. I was actually already starting to get a bit discouraged because I thought I was going to be ever so slightly worse, but I can't really be worse here. I have a bishop against a knight, and
What's the time control?
it's 10 plus 5. Okay, so he went in for the immediate exchange. Now my pawns are doubled, and this is soft.
Your pawns are doubled.
No, my pawn's isolated.
No.
I can't talk. I've forgotten how to talk. King h1 was a very strange move, but I followed it up with an equally strange move. I couldn't really tell you what the point of king h1 was. But now that the bishop was on this diagonal, I went in for c5. But after queen c4, I can't defend my c-pawn. So that was just an oversight by me. But okay, I get my bishop to the nice diagonal. He takes, and then I play rook c8, forcing him to exchange on my terms.
You got rid of your double pawn.
Did I say it again?
No.
Oh, okay. Don't do that. No. Ben's trolling me. Okay, forcing him to exchange on my terms. He did exchange queens, and then he played knight a4, knight a5. See? Proving I can't talk with every sentence. Bishop d5. And he went in for c4.
Strange move.
Yeah, I agree. He was worried about his knight getting trapped over here.
Yeah.
So. Okay. And we trade. And the endgame is just a little bit better for black because of white's pawn structure. Okay. Jared Raiden 1995 rating is over 2,000. Can't find a rating older. Got it. Okay, so I was wrong. All right, improving my king position, defending my e-pawn. I attacked his weak pawns. I put pressure on his weak pawns. And I played king e6 because I want to contest the d-file. I think I have good winning chances if I'm able to exchange a pair of rooks because my king comes to the queen side pretty quickly. Okay, king g2. And I offered to exchange rooks, which he declined. And I was mildly concerned about him marching his c-pawn up the board, but it never quite came to that. Okay, I played e4. I want to play king e5. King f1. King e5. Then he played rook b1. At this point, we're pretty low on time. And I started making moves quickly, trying to bank some extra time with the 5-second increment. So I don't have to be concerned about rook b5 check. It's just check. I can play rook d5 and stop it. But I stopped it with a6. And now the best plan for white is to just get this pawn going. It is a passed pawn. It's something that I have to dedicate resources to stop. But he moved his king up, g5, and I want to start breaking down his structure over here and potentially create a passed pawn. Rook b1 enables him to perform checks from the back rank.
I don't want to say anything.
What's up?
But that's rook b8.
What did I say? I said rook b1.
No, I don't want to say anything.
Thank you. No.
You'll feel bad.
I do feel bad.
But it was funny.
Okay, he played rook b8, which enables him to check on the back rank. I played f4 so that my king can hide behind my pawns. Check. Check. He traded. And then he made his only blunder of the game. And I was able to go on to win. He checked. King h3. And then he played rook e8, which turns out to be a big error. He should play rook f8 instead. And if we get the same variation in the game, suddenly white's winning. If I take this, then we trade, and then white has a winning king pawn ending. Ben's proficiency with algebraic notation is why they gave him the GM title. Maybe. Okay, but he played rook e8, and now if we follow the same variation, take f3 check, king e3. During the game, did you consider queen g5 instead of attacking his queen with your rook?
It's like 30 moves ago.
Did I attack his queen with my rook? Oh, rook c8 instead of rook c8? Oh, and you want to take on g2? I can go back after. Okay, king e3 check here. Yeah, and suddenly his king is in the center, and my rooks are super active, and also my king is quite active. Isn't black's king on h3 out of play? Actually, no. It turns out it isn't. I'm going to take this pawn, and in the very, very long term, it's going to help escort the h-pawn down the board. So this is a quite active king, and this king is not as active, unfortunately. Okay, so check. King d5, and then I took on h2, and here he lost on time. If he hadn't lost on time, black is winning. The h-pawn is going to decide the day. Rook h8, rook h4, and yeah, there's just unfortunately no way for white to attack my pawns. They're all going to be sufficiently defended in some way. Rook can swing over to the a file. King can come out. Okay, so Fen Beingold asked if I should play queen g5 instead of rook c8. Okay, threatening mate, so f3. This is also perfectly playable, but I chose to play rook c8 because the endgame can only really be good for black, right? I have a bishop against a knight. These pawns are quite weak, and yeah, I did consider it. I remember considering queen g5 at some moment. I don't think this was the moment because I played rook c8 pretty quickly. But I did consider queen g5 in some positions. Yeah, queen takes c5, undoubling my pawns. Alright, the last game is the most exciting game. I have black against Shredder, and I set Shredder to 2000. I'm going to skip through the opening phase a bit quickly here. It's a King's Indian attack.
What's the time control?
Time control is 15 plus 10. 15 plus 10. And Shredder is set to 2000. Good luck this game. Thank you. I'll try my best. Okay, so it's a King's Indian attack. E4. And Shredder is out of book at this point. And I guess it didn't really understand the position too well. Knight c4 was kind of the move I was expecting. And I wasn't sure if I should play queen c7 or knight d7. I almost said knight d2.
Yeah, but that's normal.
Yeah.
That's normally you play knight.
Because you play knight d2 as white, yeah. Yeah. But okay, Shredder went for h3 and c4. And, normally I would be okay with this if you could get b4 in, but I have a lot of support for that, so that takes a long time. And I'm getting in b5 quicker. So queen a4 stops b5 in the short term. My a pawn is now pinned. So I played bishop e6. I was kind of inviting white to play knight g5 with the intention of playing bishop d7 here. And my thought was, why is your knight on g5? The bishop's good on e6 or d7. It doesn't matter. Bishop's lined up with the queen. So knight g5 doesn't help white too much. So I played bishop d2, and I played h6. That secures my bishop on e6. Knight c2, queen d7. And white actually has a nice advantage here because I have more space in the center, and believe it or not, white's queen is actually pretty close to trapped over here if I can get in b5, because the bishop controls this diagonal. So I could have played b5 straight away. This was a missed opportunity. Okay. I played rook fb8, supporting b5. Queen a3. Okay, and now we have a position with a locked queen side. En passant is in fact not forced, despite what the internet thinks. Why not bishop d7 instead of e6? I thought e6 was a better square, and as I mentioned, I wanted to induce knight g5. I thought white would go for knight g5, and the knight's poorly placed there, I think, and then I would have dropped back to d7. Okay, so locked queen side. So everything's, and locked center. So everything is going to start taking place on the king side now. And my pieces have... In the previous game, can you explain why 40 f3? Bonarichi were on this game. I can't... Alright, so the game's going to take place on the king side now that the pawns are locked over here. And
see, this is why when I teach chess... In 1925, can you explain why this happened?
I'm still on the previous game? Oh.
Bonarichi's banned.
All right. So everything's going to happen on the king side now, and my pieces are just a bit faster in getting over there. I've already got several pieces aimed that way. So I lifted my rook. The 6th rank is open. So in the long term, after I clear out these pieces, my rook can swing over to the king side. And then white starts to shuffle. And then I went for this knight sacrifice. Knight takes g4. Engine's calling it dubious and not necessary. I could play h5 instead. Take a slower approach, try to open it up with the pawns. I would have been concerned about g5 here, trying to close it down, but maybe I shouldn't be. It says I can take h3. Yeah, bishop takes h3, and suddenly my queen is coming to g4. Okay, so I sacked my knight. Always sack your knight. And this is actually playable for black because white's pieces are over here, and it takes a long time to come back and defend. Okay, rook e1. That turns out to be a blunder. He could defend his knight with knight ce1 and maintain a knight on f3. And it's kind of actually quite difficult to disrupt white's coordination now. But he played rook e1, and now I get to take out the knight, which is the key defender of white's kingside. Bishop takes, and then queen h3 also turns out to be a mistake. I wanted to force the bishop back to g2 and then pin it with queen g4. That was the idea. But a stronger idea is just playing knight d8 and getting my rook over. That would be a winning idea for black. Okay, it's still a game. I played my idea, queen g4. King f1 also turns out to be a mistake, and now I do exercise the knight d8 idea, and now my lifted rook gets to come over and assist in the attack on the king. Okay, rook e2. Rook g6. Knight e1. Defends the bishop on g2. And then I lift the other rook. Rook b to b6. And now this rook can come over to
You
f6.
got 2 rooks, 1 for each of you.
Correct. Okay, rook c1 is just shuffling. I do want to play...
Every day I'm shuffling.
I do want to play rook 6 to f6. Not rook 6 to f6, rook b to f6. But I don't want to block in my bishop. So bishop h4, rook b1, and then rook b to f6. Aha, shows you Fenbeingold. You said never play f3, but turns out f3 is the move. Funnily enough, Stockfish prefers f4, because never play f3. But okay, f3. This pawn is pinned. No threat on my queen. Bishop e1 is the move that I decided on. And I think, if I recall correctly, king takes is the only move. If bishop takes, I was prepared to play rook takes f3. And if bishop takes, then mate. That's not mate? Am I missing something? Oh, it is mate. Oh. The engine's passed out. Okay, yeah, it didn't update. Yeah, I was prepared to play rook takes f3 and then queen g1 mate. And I think if rook takes e1, I can also play rook takes f3. Oh no, queen g2. Duh. Okay, so king takes, rook takes f3, and if bishop takes, it's the same mate. Queen c2, rook g3. Bishop c1 allows the queen to defend laterally, but I could take it.
I thought you would take when you showed me the game originally.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I could take. Taking is fine. Queen h4 is also quite strong, lining up with the king here, threatening discoveries. King d1, and then take here.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But I just decided to march the h pawn, which is also a strong idea. Now everything's defending the bishop. Tripled up on the second rank. h4. Bishop f1. Always play bishop f1. Here comes the pawn. And then rook g1. And it's hard to stop rook f6 and coordinating on f1 now. Okay, white tried. Queen e2. No interest at all in trading queens. So I play queen g3 here, and then rook f6. Now this is unstoppable. And he stopped it, showing me. Okay, but h2. Takes, and then I promote to a new queen. Yes. 2 queens on the scene. Okay, rook f5. Knight e6, getting the last piece involved. King c2, knight f4. Gets rid of that, and then rook h5. And then I simplified into a winning position. Yeah, and with the pawns over here on the queen side controlling all the squares, and yeah, it's going to be difficult for white to stop mate now. Play queen e2, but after rook f2, white resigns. If we don't play queen e2, it's hard to suggest a move.
That was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just threatening to play queen g2 or queen f2, so I can't really suggest a move. The computer resigns when you would keep playing. And then your opponent would always repeat, like, oh darn, I can't play queen h5 and repeat. Darn. How do I always repeat? There we go. Always repeat.
I like his game was small. Like,
Yeah, this game was good. Well, that's all the games we have. I missed some YouTube chat messages, but... Good positional play on the queen side produces a tactical win on the king side. Indeed. Aggressive attacking. Thanks, Bishop Stars. Been long since I was here. You alright, Ben?
Yes.
Thanks, Toast. Thank you, Biohazard.
Yeah, I feel okay. I just lose my voice a lot.
What's up, Tensor Extension? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, Ben's shirt always matches the chess.com board. Is that a Santana song? Whoa, Nemo with the rate of 336. Thanks, Nemo.
Thanks for the huge raid.
Hi, everybody.
I was probably going to raid you, but
Everyone makes this joke that Karen looks a little different. I like it. It's basically a meme at this point.
yeah, Karen streamed poker for 7 hours today.
Wow. How'd she do? Oh, no idea.
You know, she does good. Now she's playing poker.
Well, we are just about done, unfortunately. No, Swift, I'm not Karen. Sorry to disappoint. My name is Pat. And I am just your garden variety chess player. Ah, okay. All right. So we are sending you off. Did I get it? No. I think I got it.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry to leave so early, everybody, but we'll see you all next week. Bye.